Hello my loves, welcome back to the channel. In today's tutorial we're going to learn how to make a curly hem using fishing line, then using your industrial weaving machine or your industrial Serger or your industrial overlocking machine. Now when you use fishing line on soft fabrics like organza, it gives you this curly hem, so you can use it for any sewing project that you want to have a curly hem. This is what the fishing line does when you overlock a fishing line with a lightweight fabric. Now this is my email overlocking machine, industrial overlocking machine. Now you can make use of any overlocking or weaving machine that you have. Now for this project I'm working on a peplum sleeve or a bell sleeve, and the person wants the hem to be curly like this. Like you can see, the curly hem was made using fishing line. So this is what I'm going to make. First of all, I'm going to cut out my fabric, just cut out my peplum sleeve or my bell sleeve. Right now for a pet project, I did a sketch or a rough sketch on the lining fabric. You can see, so this is what it looks like, and this is just a plain fabric with straight fabric, but you can see how curly the hem is, and the weaving is very neat and beautiful. Do you get? So this is what it looks like. This is just like a sample of what we're going to do. So when I plait it around, it's just going to give it a very curly and beautiful hem. Now this is my peplum sleeve or my bell sleeve. This is what it looks like. So I've already cut it out. Then I want to attach my fishing line to it. Now so you're going to be working on the right side of the fabric. The right side of your fabric is going to face you. Now this is the fishing line I'm using. All right, so it's 0.99 mm. You can use the one of 1 mm depending on how you want the thickness of the fishing line that you want. Right, but any thickness, any weight of fishing line that you want can work on your overlocking machine. So first things first, you need to lubricate your machine. So on all the parts that need lubrication, around the presser foot, inside the oil container, I don't know what that is called, but all the places that need lubrication. Okay, so at the top, even where the thread passes through from, okay, you need to lubricate all of those places. Then open up your machine if you're using an industrial machine, and open up this part and pour oil inside. If there's no oil there, you need to pour oil inside of that place, okay, till it's full. Yes, so you can then cover it up and make sure that you also oil every other part that needs oiling. So you also need to open up this side, the inside, and oil it very well. At this point, lubrication is very important. One, you don't want your thread to cut while you are attaching or fixing your fishing line. Although if it's cut, you cannot actually start from where you stopped. Do you get? Well, you don't want to have that kind of glitch when you're making your fishing line. So you need to lubricate your machines first. Then afterwards, we're going to start with working on what we want to do. So you just open up remove your presser foot, then get your fishing line. Then you're going to place it behind the needle, okay, or beside the needle. After the needle, you just place it beside it, okay, just directly beside the needle. Now put back your presser foot, and then take in your project. Then you need to weave a little or just overlock a little, okay. You're not going to start immediately with the fishing line. Just weave a little bit, okay. Just weave a little bit to deceive the machine that it's weaving on fabric. Then you're going to get the fishing line. So I'll open the presser foot. You can see the fishing line. Then I'm going to place it beside the needle. After the needle is before the needle, then beside the needle, okay, or after the needle, you place it there. Then close up your presser foot, right, like so. So you're going to now continue weaving. The machine is going to think it's still weaving on the fabric alone, but you succeeded in deceiving this sewing machine or this weaving machine. So we're going to start weaving gently. So you can see my fishing line has entered. You can see the point there. This camera is not focusing, but you can see that tiny stuff there. So that's the fishing line that's already entered. So I'm just going to keep on weaving. All right, so when you're making your project, make sure that you leave at least half inch at the lower part of whatever you're making, half inch allowance for this overlocking process. All right, you need at least half inch. Your overlocker should trim, or your Serger or your weaving machine should be able to trim off at least half inch from the hem, just that way, so that you can incorporate the fishing line into what you are doing. Now at this point you want to take it gently, very gently, softly. You can see what you can see. I'm not increasing the speed of this video, just so that you can see how long it is taking me and how I am doing it gently. If your name is good speed, please, you have to change your name to patience at this time. You get, if you're, it's not like you're weaving just the ankara or the fabric. You actually have your fishing line there, so you don't want your needle to climb the fishing line. It's going to break the needle and cut the fishing line. So you need to keep the fishing line beside or behind the needle. You get, at all points. So using your right hand to guide the fishing line, and you're not going to drag the fishing line. You're not going to hold it firmly. You're just going to lightly hold the fishing line so that you can be feeding it into the presser foot, like so. Okay, just hold it, then use your hand, your other hand, to navigate around the curve of your project. So it's easier if you are making, if you, it's a straight fabric and you want to gather it at the end of the day to have a curly hem. But right now I'm working on a peplum sleeve, so it's on a curve. So you just need to you need to have your hand stable on the fabric so that you can move it around to navigate around the circle, the hem, now the hem of the peplum or what you're making, right? Then use your other hand to feed the fishing line into the presser foot, and make sure that it stays behind the needle or beside the needle. So whichever way you're looking at it from, it has to be beside the needle. All right, so if you're looking at it from my point of view, it's beside the needle, but from the camera, the way it is behind the needle. Okay, what you know is just know that you have to put it by the side of the needle, after your needle. That's what it means basically. So I hope I have not confused you with this behind the needle, before the needle, and beside the needle. So now I'm getting closer to where I started weaving from. Okay, and you know that I did not start weaving with the fishing line, so I'm going to keep weaving till I get to where the fishing line is. So I'm going to weave out this part that I already weaved at this at the initial time, so you can see what I'm doing now. So I'll keep weaving even after the part I started from. I'll just weave that part out, then weave till where I have the fishing line, or where I started the fishing line with. So when I get to that place, I would stop, right? So you don't want the needle to climb the fishing line. So when you get to that point, you just stop and remove the thread and the fishing line. So I'm just going to use my hand. I'm going to be winding the is it bobbin, the side of my weaving machine. I'll just be winding it so that it will release the thread. Okay, once it releases enough thread, I'll then cut out the fishing line and the thread. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have, right? So if you're working on a long project, a big project like a straight fabric, just gently go ahead and do it gently. Okay, you don't want to speed up, you don't want to do so much. So this, you can see I already have a curly hem. Now what I did was I had to cut this in excess, right? So this is the one I haven't done, this is the one I have done. All right, so the round arm I had to cut it in excess, or the round sleeve I cut it in excess, so that by the time I pleat, it's going to give me a curly hem like you're seeing. Right, so this is what I have done, and this is what it looks like. So please try it out. Make sure you lubricate your sewing machine first. Make sure you lubricate first before you start this project. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like this video, please share it, turn on your post notifications, and please subscribe to my channel. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye, stay safe.